What's going on, YouTube? This is Fish Freak Phil. Have a long update. Got a lot going on. Had a lot going on. Still have a lot going on. Just wanted to show you the Cobalt Aquatics CB40, and in there you see a pile of rocks in there. So looking at all this rock, I don't believe any of it is going to be in here. I kind of started trying to seed this rock a little earlier. Most of this is going to be for my Innovative Marine 40. I'll show you that in a moment. Actually, it's across the room. I just turned on the protein skimmer last night. Just wanted to kind of get a sense of what it would sound like in here. It's not as bad. I've actually gotten used to it. When I first turned it on, I hadn't had it on for a couple months, so it was a little bit jarring because, you know, not used to having that noise in this room. It did take a few minutes to get used to it, but now I'm used to it. I barely even notice it. But yeah, all this rock in here, I started kind of pre-seeding with bacteria to kind of make it it was dry rock, trying to seed it, obviously make it live rock. And all these are potential rocks that will be used in my Innovative Marine Nuvo 40, which is over here. This is a DIY stand, my second one. I'm actually quite proud of it. Came out pretty dope. Used the same stain that I used on the one in the stand for the Cobalt Aquatics CB40. Finished the trim a lot better this time around. Still have to add the handles and the magnetic things, and I'm going to add a shelf in here. I put a carpet down because it's hardwood flooring. Kind of want to protect the flooring as much as possible. Stand is actually, I'm quite proud of it. It came out pretty well. I'm only going to be running one AI Prime over top of this one, and more equipment updates to come, but I just kind of want to give you an update on here. So all that rock, not all that rock, but potentially the rock in here is going to be used for that tank. This is only temporarily for maybe the next year or two. Then we'll see. I plan on moving to at least a 125. I was saying 180, but based on the space I want to put it in, the width of it doesn't work for me. So I'll be going back to my original plan was 125 anyway. So that's what I'll be doing. I'm gonna pause it for a moment, and then we'll pick up downstairs and I'll show you where my makeshift tank fish room is and what's been going on down there. So guys, here we pick up in the fish room, and my tanks have expanded by quite a bit. So these are the corals that were in the Cobalt Aquatics. No, it's me. That's for the Cobalt Aquatics CB40. That was the tank, the stuff that was in the Fluval Evo 13.5. This is my holding tank, and you can see there's another tank here, and there's that tank back there. These, I have 3 wrasses in here. I got them from Live Aquaria, Yellow Chorus wrasse, Carpenter wrasse, and a McCosker wrasse. But this is the African variant, Blackfin African variant, which I've been wanting to get for a long time, but they're not easy to find. I finally got one. Actually, this is my second one. The first one I had from Live Aquaria got here. It just didn't do well. That ended up dying. I was lucky in that when I went back on there a week later, they're available again, so I automatically, without hesitation, ordered them. Then ended up getting the Carpenter. And I gotta say, I'm actually really, I am very happy with what they sent. The fish all come in really healthy. On my first order, I had let's see, I had a Yellow Chorus wrasse and a McCosker. Those 2 didn't do well. They died, but they looked healthy. I didn't quarantine them properly before putting them into this into this tank here. Anyway, the Royal Grama was one of the ones that came in, and that's doing well. All the fish in here are doing well. And the big story is this tank. This is a hot mess, if there was ever a hot mess. As you can see, all the ugly, gross algae that has killed a whole lot of crap in this tank. Let me take the top off so maybe you can see a little better. I've been trying to scrape and scrub this tank, but before we get to that, you can see another little McCosker in here. This is a juvenile I got in there, and my red firefish, my original one, passed away at the beginning of all this crap. Look at this. This is gross. This is absolutely gross. Let me if I can get a... It's this long and flowing. I've been scrubbing it, manually pulling it out. I've been actually... I had some coral die, and basically because it's all my fault. This tank was one of my, like I said before in previous videos, the Evo was one of my most stable tanks I've ever had. But that's when it was in 13 gallons, 13.5 gallons to be exact. I moved everything from that tank into a 20-gallon 20-gallon tank with just a glass bottom, no substrate. Everything that was in that tank and went into hang-on back filters. And I added, at the time I had added more fish, so now I expanded the tank, and I doubled down by expanding the amount of water that was in the tank, but I added more fish in there. So obviously the biological, I think what happened is the biological bacteria that was in the tank, that was on the stuff, on the rocks, in the media that I used in the Evo 13.5 is obviously overwhelmed, and boom. Add that with the fact that actually I had another, like, now though, I just kept making mistake after mistake after mistake with this tank. Now I had added the light that you saw that was on top of the Innovative Marine. I actually had it on this other side here, just to give it more lighting, to light the tank more. That's another issue. That I just kept compounding problem after problem after problem, and here is the results. Gross, messy. I took this rock out a couple weeks ago, scrubbed it down, and boom, popped up back up. Well, in order to alleviate this, going forward, and I have a plan on trying to rescue what corals are left, because I had quite a bit die off in here. As you see, my frog spawn was doing okay, and that took a hit, ended up dying. The acans, I took them out. They were suffering. I took them out, scrubbed the rocks that they were on and everything, and I actually have them in here. They're at the bottom of the tank, in between some rocks back down in there. They're doing great now. The remaining acan that I had, I took it out, and I'll show you what I did. Got a lot to show you guys. So we're gonna take a little walk here. Enter the Evo 13.5 again, back to the rescue, and I can show you what I have going on here. So here it is, the last of the other. That's a problem right there. Looks like my lights aren't working on the stock light, which is interesting because it was flashing a bit the other day. Anyway, I'll look at that later. Anyway, I pulled everything out, and scrubbed down the rocks, got them back in here. That acan right there is not doing very well. I'm hoping to have it come back. Now these corals are starting to open up a little bit more. That acan, my rainbow acan, looks like it's starting to recover. That rock right there had some red slime algae in here. I tried scrubbing it off, But I ended up treating this tank with Chemi-Clean to hopefully get rid of the red cyanol. I'm not sure what's going on with this this light. Interesting. Well, I guess it's at its end of its life, but wow. Now I would imagine that one. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is working now. Now I got 2 fish in here. A very small. Where is he? Oh, there he is. A very, very small Coral Beauty angel. I didn't think I was gonna get another angel, and I broke a rule of mine, and I don't know if I'm gonna pay for this later. We'll find out. I bought a fish from Petco. I know some Petcos, not all Petcos are created equal, but here in my area, the Petcos are crap. I just happened to walk in there. I actually was going there to buy a 10-gallon tank so I could do the transfer method, which I was doing with the Jurassics, and I saw this guy in here, and they had just gotten their shipment in, and I immediately picked it up. It was 30 bucks. He's a really small specimen. It's like maybe an inch and a half. I mean, he's a really small guy. I've been wanting a small angel for a while. And this is a tail spot bling I got from my local LFS. He's also a tiny guy. These guys were all going to be going into the Innovative Marine. Right now I kind of have them separated, and I'm going to be putting these guys through the tank transfer method as well. But right now I have this tank. This is kind of me just checking them out, getting them eating, and kind of observing them separate from the other tanks. So yeah, so got a lot going on. I plan on taking those rocks out, cleaning them out, and kind of separating amongst the 2 tanks, and trying to get rid of that algae. Kind of really going to go in there and scrape up those tanks before I start this tank transfer method with the other fish from the fluval, because they'll end up going between these 2 tanks, which is easier. If you've never done the tank transfer method, it's my first time doing it. I'll have to. There are many videos out on it, but while I was doing that, I was actually also treating with PraziPro the whole time. So I'm hoping to get these guys really healthy, because I want them in the next month or 2. These fish will be going into the display tank, hopefully. Now I've had some algae issues in this tank, like mad. Glass is really dirty. I apologize for that. But the algae is going crazy, but the corals are going absolutely nuts. I haven't even really dosed. I'm not dosing 2-part or anything. Not doing any crazy amount of water changes. They just are loving the tank right now. Yeah, the algae is crazy, but I've been getting some. Look at that. That was so. These are some corals I had in there. That the coloration just kind of changed. Look at this one right here. This is absolutely gorgeous, and that's the same coral. That's literally the same piece of coral. Same coral as that one. I just had one set higher in my tank, in my display tank, and this one was always set lower and had more of a bluish color, but now that's getting a little bit more light. Look at the colors on it. I failed to remember what the name is. I went to Reefer Palooza, Orlando, and also there was a frag swap in Buffalo, New York called the Flower City Frag Swap. So I went to both of them, got some corals. More on that later in a later video, when I got things better, you can see them better. But I don't want to keep shooting this video because it can go on for a while. I had a lot going on. As you can see, this Yeah, these Olanthids, the Midas Olanthids are just going crazy. Look at these sponges just popping up everywhere. So I got quite a bit of cleanup with these rocks and corals and stuff like that before they go into the display tank. So I'm really hoping to tackle that within the next couple of weeks or so, this next 1 or 2 weeks, because I'm really needing to get these into the display tanks, because it is quite a bit of stuff going on between the new house, and all the other projects you got going on. And now I have multiple tanks that are just expanding, thus, you have shit like that happening. Excuse my language. But anyway, this is Fish Freak Phil. Sorry if the video is a little bit long, but I really wanted to give you guys a snapshot of what's been happening, because I haven't been able to put out as many videos as I would like to. Just trying to concentrate on just dealing with what I have. I want to give you guys a look at the success, but mostly my failures, because if you see what I'm doing wrong, or and you want to comment in there, please do. And also to teach you what not to do. If you see me doing it wrong, it's not working for me. It might work for you, you might want to try it, but yeah, you don't want that hot mess. It's not good. I could have stripped that down earlier, but I wanted to try to learn from this, trying to revert to cleaning that up or dealing with that type of algae outbreak. Obviously, this is a big fail, but success at the same time. I should have started acting earlier as soon as it started happening. I did not do that. It's my bad. So that's a lesson I've learned. And on top of that, I had too many changes on this tank in a short period of time, and that's a result. I'm absolutely confident that that's a result of that. Anyway, this is Fish Freak Phil, giving you an update on all my tanks. Have any questions? Feel free, put them up there. I'll get to them. I try to answer my questions as quickly and as much as I can. If you have any comments, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Definitely want to hit that notification buttons, because I will be having content coming out within this week or the next week, because I want to show, gotta keep you updated with what I have going on. So anyway, till next time, do your research, try things out, and see what happens. Later, y'all.